cool. I hate this part. I can always figure out how dirty my glasses are. Good. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another DIY video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. We've been doing more vlogs lately, which I've been enjoying. As some of you might remember, although not a lot of you have watched it, so I don't know how much you'll carry over. When I got my Mini, I had to do a lot of suspension work on the front end because it was floaty. And naturally, I can't buy a car without having to do some work on it, so it's maintenance time on the GTI. Some simple things like an oil change. This is just a warranted oil change from FCP Euro. Hey, FCP Euro, sponsor me. We also have ball joints here in the front because mine are getting a little worn out and I'm hearing a little bit of clunk from them. As well as some new tools. I got a ball joint press because I don't actually have one of these and I didn't know how I was going to get these out without it. Moving in straight to the back of the car, we need wheel bearings because the ones on my car are going out and I'm getting a little tapping or a squeaking noise every rotation. This meant, and I think this did too, that I had to buy a specialty toolkit for Volkswagens because naturally the Germans chose to use, I think they're 12-point star bits. They look like this. They look just like normal hex heads, except they're not, and they're annoying, and I kind of don't like these, but it's my car, I have to buy tools for it. So anyway, I believe we're only going to be doing the rear wheel bearings in this video. I don't know if I want to get into these quite yet, but I'll decide later and you'll see how that goes. But you know, that's enough of me talking, so let's get over, let me light up the car and let's get over to work. So, I don't know if you can see these, but there's little caps over the wheels back here. They are beauty caps, and the only way to get them off is with a little, like, it kind of looks like a grenade pin. You stick it in here and you turn it and pull. And for some reason, because I did buy this car secondhand, mine's gone. So I'm gonna go hunt for one of those, and I'm gonna leave you guys here. There is a Jetta outside. Go watch that video, the As Good As It Gets for the 2022 Jetta. Great car. And I'm gonna hope that Volkswagen shared that between cars. Shout out to that Jetta. It had exactly what I was looking for. See, this is what you do. It's this little key thing here, and you just shove it into the hole and pull. Honestly, I don't even know why I leave these on here at this point. Lug nuts are broken free. Let's get this car up in the air. First thing I decided to do was loosen up the bolt holding on the brake rotor. Realistically, this isn't exactly the first thing you need to do. If you have an impact gun and a good trigger finger, you probably don't even need to worry about this until after the brake caliper's off, but I decided to do it early because I have stripped these before, and it is a pain in the ass. I'm just checking now to make sure that I have the right socket for the caliper bolts. It is an M14 12-point star bit. There is a top and a bottom bolt on the caliper, just like most of every other caliper. Here you can see I am loosening the lower one, which was a bit of a pain, but a little bit of elbow grease, I did end up getting it out. Now here's a step that I wish I had kind of taken a little more time to do. That caliper is a two-piece caliper, which means you can pull them apart with a couple of bolts and just slide it off. I should have done that, it would have been a lot faster, but for some reason I decided I didn't want to. This part is a bit of a pain. This dust cap has to come off so you can get to the bolt holding on the actual wheel bearing. Honestly, just destroy it. It's not like you need it. Most wheel bearing kits come with a new one, although I would verify that before you do go hog wild. Thank God. tell. But that's unfortunate. Alrighty. So, since this broke, I decided to just go over and finish it off. So, now it's just a long metal pole and doesn't have any rubber bits on it anymore. So now I'm just going to stick the cheater bar through it and hope this works. And I'm pretty sure I even did that without scratching the hell out of the car. Whew. I was really expecting it to put up more of a fight. There's little bits of bearing material. All right. So this was a lot of work to get out. And honestly, it wasn't even a lot of work to get it out. It was a lot of work to get the other pieces that are in the way out. And I'm kind of glad I did, because this sounds terrible. And this definitely was that squeaking I was hearing. So I guess I do know what I'm doing. Now it is time to put the new wheel bearing into the car. This includes a new cap and a new bolt, which I'm keeping in the hardware bag so I don't lose. That is because that cap comes off in about 3 pieces, like mine did, and the bolt is torqued to yield. So as you torque it in, the threads stretch out, so they lock themselves in, so you don't have it walk itself out and your wheel suddenly decide that it's gonna go that way. So now let's get this thing on the car, because I still have another side to do. Now I neglected to get really up close and personal with this when I pulled it off, as I was expecting it to put up more of a fight when I tugged on it. You can actually see when I pulled on it, whew, it popped off and I flew backward. So I'm going to show you how easy this is. I mean, this is your shaft right here that this slides onto. This is your bearing. Just yeah, and you're good. And I'm going to start this with the impact, and then I will torque it to yield in a minute. All right. All right. I have an idea. I'm gonna go freeze this. Boy, I wish I wasn't doing this one-handed. All right. While the dust caps enjoyed some time in the freezer so that they would shrink down and you could press them in easier, spoiler alert, that didn't work, I decided that I was going to tackle the other side of the car. It's basically the same thing as the other side, except mirrored. Even after freezing them, they were still a bit of a pain, so I had to end up dog earing a couple of the corners, and I ended up actually having to recircularize the one. But that'll happen. This is just something that you have to look forward to when you do this job. Once the dust caps end up where they need to be, it is time to start reassembly. Reassembly is basically just putting everything back together the way you took it off. In my case, I just have to disassemble the brake calipers and put them on properly. Should have taken them off that way, but I learn as I go. So we're coming up on the end here. I have the brake rotor and everything reassembled on both sides. Cool. But I need to rotate the tire. Ignore this, we just had our floors replaced. I need to rotate my tires because I have a bit of a lead foot and I kind of missed the last rotation interval, which means that the front of my car's tires are a little low, let's say. So I'm going to do a tire rotation. And now this isn't anything too terribly difficult. It's just moving a tire from the front to the rear. But in my case, since my car is front wheel drive, I'm going to take my front wheels, move them straight back, and my rear wheels are going to go in a crisscross pattern, flipping to the opposite side of the car. This should help with wear, as the camber will be a bit different for the rear wheels. I have no idea if that's actually true or not, but I'm excited to see if it helps. Also, it'll mean I have more grip in the front because it's hard to get grip. This thing likes to wheel hop. The wheels will kind of do this, and it sounds terrible, and also it'll trip the tires, and it likes to do that in front of cops a lot. So anyway, let's get that going. Alrighty, so we're gonna torque the wheels to spec now. It is, I believe 95, give me a second, 90 pounds. Alrighty. Always take your torque wrench down to the lowest setting it can go so it doesn't get fatigued. All right, I'm gonna do some cleaning up and then I'm gonna take this out for a test drive. Unfortunately, because it is dark, you're not gonna be able to go with me for that. So I will catch you when we get back. So fun fact, I didn't get as much done today as I thought I was going to. Mostly because it's currently 9:45 at night, but you know, you win some, you lose some. But we did get wheel bearings done, and I did get to install the remote CarPlay system that I wanted to in the car. It's just a USB plug, but I'll talk about that later when I talk about some of the interior things you need for your GTI. More on that later. But wheel bearings are done, so I can cross this off the list. Next on the list, and probably next week, we'll do the lower ball joints, and we'll do the oil change. But that is a next week problem, and that means that this video is over. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. And as always, thank you all for watching. Peace.